I will say this, right? The Starfield DLC, so far, from what I've played, Shattered Space, so far, from what I've played, it is really cool. I think it's awesome. The visuals, the area that you're in, it looks amazing so far. The story is very packed with content. Like, you could tell that there's a lot of, like, story put into this. That being said, I am someone who loves to explore. I love outer space exploration. I love everything. That's why I play Starfield. The whole premise of this DLC is that you're dealing with, like, a cult, basically, that is in the main game. They're in the main game, but you don't really know too much about them in the main game, and this, like, really dives deeper into them. And they're more in the main game, they're enemies, so they're always going to be attacking you. You don't really know much lore about them. So this DLC focuses on their home world and their origins and everything, and it's really, really good. It's really detailed and stuff, and I really love that. My issue is, since you're dealing with people in any type of game, whenever you're dealing with folk, they like to speak very slow when they talk. They really speak very slow in their sentences and stuff like that. And I'm just like, come on, let's go. Like, I want to explore. I want to get deep into it. And the guy I just spoke to just now was like one of the final straws with dialogue for me for a second. Like, I'm just like, I want to explore. I want to just go around and kill enemies. And I love speaking. That's the whole thing about Bethesda games. Of course, I have no issues with speaking to people in games. Not at all. I never do. But when you're 24/7 speaking and they're just going extremely slow with everything they say, it gets to a point where it's like, all right, come on, let's go. Like, let's get it going. Like, this is taking forever. I want to experience this story. Stop speaking so slow. I get it. You're a guy, you got to speak like an elder and this and that, but let's go. Come on, like, let's pace it a little faster. That's my one big issue with it. So I just spammed through the dialogue for one guy because I just can't deal with it. I felt like that with a few people you talk to in Fallout 4. Fallout 4, I never have that issue. I've never had the issue with that in Fallout 4. Maybe it's because but that's the thing. I was going to say, maybe it's because I love Fallout so much, or maybe it's because I love Skyrim and the Elder Scrolls so much, or maybe, but I love Starfield. I actually really do. I think it's just right now I'm so eager to explore this world that they gave me, but instead I'm sitting here doing quests, and the quests are making me talk to people 24/7 rather than going out and doing something right now. Right now I am sent out to go do something finally, but it's just been a lot of talking. I almost fell asleep at one point, I'm not gonna lie. If you go back, I was talking to these 3 people in this room and I was kind of dozing off, so I like went on my phone for a second. Which, once again, the DLC itself and the story is amazing. It's genuinely great. But right now, I'm tired of the slow pacing. Like, I just want to go. Let's go, you know? So that's my whole thing. I think it is definitely worth it. And it's $30 to buy the DLC separate. If you have the Ultimate Edition or whatever, it's included in that, so you have it already. Just gotta update the game. But I think it's good. I think it's great. Once again, like I said, though, just a little too slow with the pacing right now, with the talking and whatnot. I did a side quest as well. I also did a side quest. And yeah, it was a good side quest. You could tell that there were a lot of different outcomes that could have happened with it, which was good. I like that there's options for things too. It's good. So yeah, put subtitles on and just read it. I did that. You will read faster than what they speak. That's what I did. I always have subtitles on in these games just because, but I just don't like doing that. I don't like skipping through stuff and reading through it faster. Like, I like to just experience them talking. It's part of the whole bundle. It's a part of it, you know? But with that one guy, if you go back, if you reverse a little bit, I was speaking to this one guy. He was speaking so slow and would take long pauses in between his sentences, and it was really annoying. So I said, screw that. I spammed through his stuff. I didn't even care what he was saying. I really don't. Whatever. You know, it got to that point because I can't be bothered with the slow dialogue 24/7. It's okay, once again, I get it, but like, when you're dealing with like everybody here is speaking like this, all right, let's go, you know? So hopefully, whatever. But all right, let's dive into all the things I was just ranting about, shall we? This guy right here. This was the thing that made me lose my cool. He has to be the slowest speaking person in the entirety of all Bethesda games. I'm not gonna make you sit through all of it, but just take a listen to a moment of just how slow he was speaking.
Yes, I suppose. Although, from an outside perspective, one could consider it a fair trade. Given my new role, perhaps even a gain. Hardly. I was quite comfortable with my position within House Dulkev, and fully expected to remain where I was. You cannot imagine it. A single moment of pure, terrible silence. A meter's distance was all that separated me from whatever has become of Dazra. I find that through all the chaos and the scrambling since, my mind drifts back to that moment. I could be gone as well. But here I remain, spared. And I do not know why.
This was going on for an unbelievably long amount of time. And it wasn't just him. There were plenty of others who spoke slow, but mainly it was him who pulled the final straw. In the base game, I've never had this issue. There's even a character I met in this DLC who proved that it is okay to speak at a normal pace.
You can't get in there, not unless you have a card. So you're trying to get in there?
Yeah.
You're not the first person to come here recently, you know? Anasko Varun himself was here. I saw him, but he didn't talk to me. And there were too many other people around him. They all looked really serious. Okay, good luck.
Okay, good luck. See, that was a normal conversation. One of the first and few that we've had so far. Besides that, though, I really enjoyed the combat. Bethesda made some great changes to the difficulty that allows players to tweak things to their liking, to make it easier or way harder. And depending on what you choose, you can gain increased experience points. The months leading up to the release of Shattered Space set this DLC up for success by adding a lot of quality of life improvements, my favorite being the 3D maps, as well as the Rev 8 Land Rover vehicle. You could tell that they don't want to just simply give up on the product, given the backlash, and want to see it get itself in the right place. I was hoping this DLC would be the thing that shined a positive light on the murky history of Starfield, and would bring new and old players in to experience a game I genuinely really enjoyed. That, however, doesn't seem to entirely be the case. Steam has mixed reviews, complaints about how nothing has changed or Bethesda will never learn, and the list goes on. I'm someone who likes to see both sides of things, and in this situation I get it, but I also still really enjoyed what I played so far. The DLC is rich with lore just waiting for you to dive into, and the world they've crafted looks absolutely gorgeous. Apparently there's only about 3 new enemies, however, so that's a bit of a shame, but I've noticed a ton of new weapons to try out. That's another thing I messed up with. Weapons. You see, I had the misfortune of having my game bugged since release, meaning that in order to get all of the powers in the game, I was forced to go into New Game Plus about 5 to 6 times. Even then, I'm still missing one, but I decided to give up, as I've heard that the real way to fix the bug is to start an entirely new character, and I really do not feel like doing that. That being said, going into New Game Plus is what ruined my experience with this DLC to begin with. In most normal games that have New Game Plus, they allow you to restart the game with all of your abilities, weapons, armor, and everything you've collected throughout your previous journey. Nope, not Starfield. Nah. You see, Starfield only lets you keep your perks, traits, levels, and powers. Everything else is gone, even your money. That means you have to do an insane amount of grinding to access this DLC if you went into New Game Plus and then immediately stopped playing all those months ago. Shattered Space is brutal. The enemies are tough and will make you use up all of your resources if you're not readily equipped for the battle ahead, which is genuinely a really good thing in my opinion. It's just something I personally wish I would have prepared myself for. That's why I'm giving you this warning ahead of time. Stock up on meds, ammo, and some good weaponry. Shattered Space is a DLC that I want to love. I really do. I just think I messed up on my own end by not being prepared ahead of time, which left a sour taste in my mouth. But there also is that one real major singular issue I have with it, and that is extremely slow dialogue. Other than that, so far it seems good. If you have a character that is ready to take on anything the game has to throw at it, yeah, jump right into Starfield Shattered Space and have a blast. Thanks for watching.